Hey, what is up everybody? Zero Fats here coming at you on behalf of Life and Times of Zero Fats, adventuresontheriver.com. Want to ask you a question today. Are you afraid, or have you ever had any trouble committing to just one solitary thing? There's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of ways that you can make money online. And I just want to know, I just want to take a minute and I want to ask you, have you ever had trouble trying to figure out what is your path? Which way do you go? Do you do this or do you do that? And to illustrate my point, I want to tell you about a guy, let's call him Joe, okay? Bear with me here. This is Joe. We'll call it Jay. Joe is a guy. He's typical. He works at a factory down the road from his house. He makes $14 an hour. Some of you may relate to Joe and some of you may not. He makes okay money. He supports his family with the money he makes. But Joe is unhappy. Alright? Joe is unhappy. He really doesn't like what he does. He goes to work every day. He works a machine press, you know, and he does the same thing for 8 hours. If he wants to use the bathroom, someone has to relieve him to take a break. He feels his brain turning to mush. Everything he learned when he was in school and all the dreams he had from before are disintegrating, and he feels it. So there's a certain urgency that he feels to make something happen other than what he's doing. And there's a certain unhappiness that goes along with what he's doing. He's grinding, right? How many of you guys out there know what it's like to grind? Right? I do. I understand what that's like. So Joe's at this place, right? We're going to put him on this road. And he starts searching. He starts searching for things. And he figures out, you know, I think I'd like to make money with these Kindle ebooks. You know, I think I could do some ebooks about this and that and the other. Maybe I can make some money on that. So, you know, we'll call this the Amazon KDP Road, right? And Joe, he takes a right or left, depending on how you're looking at that, on the Amazon KDP Road. So he does a couple of ebooks, and he's not really selling anything. Not really selling anything. Now, it's almost like he takes a step back for a minute, and he starts seeing some other stuff on YouTube about guys outsourcing ebooks and making like killer mad dash cash outsourcing ebooks. So, man, maybe I could do that. So next time he gets paid, he tries that route, right? And we'll call that like a side road of the Amazon ebook thing. Call that OS, right? A little outsource there. He didn't go all the way back to the beginning. He just backtracked a tiny bit with this outsource route. He outsources a couple bucks. No, he outsources a couple of books and doesn't make any money, you know? And this is kind of sucky for him, man, because now it's starting to turn into a negative experience because he dropped 200 bucks outsourcing on ebooks. 200 bucks. You know, he dropped 50 on a course and then another 200 outsourcing a couple books, so that's $250 he dropped on this little venture. And he hasn't made any money yet, you know. It's frustrating. He's working at a job he doesn't like and he's in this frustrated place. So he's checking his email inbox and he's getting emails from these 6-figure and 7-figure internet marketers, you know. Well, 6-figure and 7-figure internet marketers, they didn't get to be 6-figure and 7-figure internet marketers without getting you to open their emails. Okay? So Joe, he's opening those emails. And they say, look, man, the way to make money is through email marketing, right? And then Joe, he backs up. He tries a different road. Email marketing. We'll just call that email in. He goes down this road a little bit. you know, and he figures out he has to learn how to build a list. He doesn't even have a list. He doesn't know anything about it. He doesn't know anything about autoresponders, doesn't know anything about how to build a list. He starts figuring junk out. He figures out he needs to make a product. So then he goes over here and he goes down this road. We'll call this PC. That's the product creation road. People tell him he can make a lot of money if he learns how to create digital products, right? And then he figures out, once he starts trying to make a digital product, he's making it because he's trying to build a list. We'll call that another road, because this is LB, list building, right? And some of these roads, they kind of tie together down the way here, like email marketing and list building, they kind of tie together. And you know, maybe product creation, it kind of loops into this too, way up here. But at the beginning, they kind of start out differently, don't they? Start out on different paths. You know, he's not really doing that great. He's building a product, but he doesn't know what to build it on. He's getting hung up on niche selection, what to pick, do this, do that. So he's trying to learn a lot of things at once. You know what I'm saying? He's got a couple of ebooks for sale over here. He's checking in on them. He wrote a couple of ebooks. He's checking in on them. He's trying to figure out about this list building thing. He's trying to learn this email marketing thing. He's trying to build a product. He's not even gonna get a list started unless he builds a product. And then, you know, he starts figuring out, man, look, dude, I built a freebie, but no one's coming to my page and doing it. You know, no one's picking up my freebie product. No one's opting in. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And he gets another email from another 5 or 6 figure internet marketer that tells him YouTube's where it's at. YouTube's the way to build your list. We'll call that YT. And it's yet another road. So Joe, is this starting to look confusing yet to anybody? Joe's got his mind in a lot of different areas. He's learning a lot of different things all at once. And none of them so far have been very effective for him. So let's put Joe on hold for just a second, okay? For thousands of years, wild regions, wildlands, prairies, forests, these things have been controlled by fire for thousands of years, okay? We do it today. It's called the controlled burn. The Native Americans did it hundreds of years ago. They controlled a fire in the prairies and in the forests to promote new growth. They burned all the excess. Does that make sense to you? They burned down all the excess in a controlled way to promote growth of the things they wanted. The good grass, the good vegetation, the good soil, the good habitation of animals that they wanted to hunt. Alright? The fire promoted all these things. Alright? It's called a controlled burn. Alright? Now, many people have trouble making money online because of this right here. Okay? There's too much. They get going down too many different roads and they don't commit to any one of them. I could go on and on. I could give you 5 more roads that Joe could go down. All we have to do is check our inbox. You know, we could make a side road off of YouTube for Google Hangouts if we wanted to. We'll call that Google Hangouts. We could make a little side road over here and call this Facebook, then make a side road off of that and call this Facebook advertising. We can make another side road off of YouTube and call this YouTube advertising. I mean, there's so many ways, and all of these can be effective. There are people making 6 and 7 figures off of any one of these things. Do you understand what I'm saying? The problem is You can't concentrate on all of them. And you can't go a tiny bit down this Amazon KDP road and then lose your confidence and lose your sheer force of will, and then go back here and go down this product creation road, and then the same thing happens when you're not making money, and then you go down this road right here, and then you come back over here and you double back and you go down this road, and you're just going a little bit down each road, and then you're coming back to the beginning and going down a different road. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, I tried that. Oh, that didn't work. Because what happens then, you get stories from people who say, I've been trying to make money online for 10 years. I never made a dime, never made a dollar. 10 years I've been trying and I've never made any money. And I believe these are the people who are afraid. Maybe not they're afraid, maybe that's the wrong way to put it, because that's not an insult, but they failed to commit. You have to commit. You must commit. Okay? So, what I suggest is that we control burn. Burn it all down. A controlled burn. A controlled burn. And realize that there's many ways to make money online and none of them are necessarily wrong. It's what is right for you, what fits better for you. What do you enjoy doing more? So let's put Joe right here again. And let's say Joe says, I pick email marketing. It's a solid business model. Hundreds of thousands of people make a full-time living, make awesome money doing email marketing, and that's all they do. So now Joe, he commits to email marketing, okay? Now this road can carry him very, very far, right? But he has to commit to it. He has to burn down all the Amazons, right? All the product creation theory, all this other stuff. Anything that's not related precisely to email marketing, it all must be white noise, okay? It all must not matter. Unless it relates to this one single solitary goal that Joe has of email marketing, none of it must matter. You can make money with all this stuff. Amazon affiliate marketing. You can make money with all of these things. But it all must just be white noise. And this must be the precedence. Okay? Now understand, some of these things tie into this one thing. Okay? Whatever your one thing is, understand you can use other things to tie into it. But the idea is that you commit to just one thing. Okay? So think about that for a second, and I want to bring up one more point. So we got the idea of the controlled burn. And what I mean by that is, let's write it up here. Controlled burn. Do it. Figure out this one thing and burn everything else down. And I propose to you that by doing so, you will promote growth on this one thing. Alright? You will promote growth on this one thing by control burning everything else that you're messing with down. Okay, so that's one thing. Now I want to talk about all this other stuff that you might be messing with a little bit. You're dabbling with all these other little things. You got a bunch of email marketers, and you got a bunch of people in your ear telling you you can be successful doing this, and you can be successful doing that. I want to talk about something else that the controlled burn is going to do. Something else that might be keeping you from being successful and you're not aware of it. So, there's something called cognitive load, right? And cognitive load, to me, it's the idea that you have things you want to get done. Like, I want to go to the grocery store and I want to get some milk. I want to get my room cleaned up. I want to get the oil changed in my car. I want to get my dog a bath. I want to do this, I want to do that, and I want to do the other. And I have all these things building up in my mind that I want to do. And I start to write a list. I could be writing a list on paper, or I could be writing a list in my mind. It doesn't matter either way. The way cognitive load works is the more things you have on that list, whether it's on paper or it's in your mind, the less effective you become. The more you load your mind down with things that you want to get done, the less effective you become. Now here's how cognitive load affects you when you got your mind sort of concentrated on a little bit from everybody. You've dabbled in this, you've dabbled in that, you might have read an article about this, you might have read an ebook about that, you've had your focus all over the place, and as a result, your cognitive load is very great. You might not realize it, because if you walk around with a bunch of weight on your back long enough, you don't even realize it's there anymore because you're just used to it being there. Okay? But the fact is, if it wasn't there, you'd probably excel. You'd probably be able to walk a lot faster. So, if you could reduce your cognitive load, we'll call it a cognitive dump. We could dump all this stuff with a controlled burn. And that'll free up a lot of your focus. And it'll give you a lot more effectiveness. And you'll be a lot more efficient at just concentrating on this one thing. So here's what I propose to you. If Joe wants to be very, very successful, then Joe reduces his cognitive load by doing a cognitive dump. He does a control burn on all his little side projects he's working on, and he just focuses on the main thing. And he learns as much as he can about that main thing, and he commits to it in body, mind, and soul. Just this one thing. It's a proven thing, and he commits to it, and that's it. And if you try to talk to him in his email box about anything other than this one thing, delete. It doesn't matter, because all I'm learning is what's inside this star. That's it. That's it. What I tell you is, if you want to be successful, and if you want to make money online, you must find that one thing, and you must commit to it. And for you, that might be Amazon ebooks, that might be product creation, that might be list building, that might be email marketing, that might be Amazon affiliate sales, that might be importing for Amazon FBA, that might be many, many things. But what I'm telling you, control burn the rest of it. Pick the thing you want to do and control burn everything else down. And in doing so, you will reduce your cognitive load, and you will be much, much, much more successful. That's about all I got. Has a happy ending. Joe makes his 6 figures. He didn't get there without control burning. He didn't do it without doing a cognitive dump. He had to reduce the white noise. You cannot let people pull you in every direction. You must focus on one thing. And I swear to God, you must commit to something. You can't just be in halfway. You need to commit to something, and you need to be all in. All in. And once you're all in, if something's not working, here's what the committed do. They figure out why it's not working, and they adjust. When you're not all in and something's not working, what do? You backtrack, you go down a different road. You let someone ease you down a different road. You know why? Because when you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. When you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. You must commit. Pick your thing and commit. Because when it doesn't work for you, guess what? You adjust and you keep moving down that road. Because that's the only road you're going to go down. It's a proven road. You've seen it work before, and it's going to work for you. You're not going to make 6 figures when you're a beginner. You're going to be a beginner, and then you're going to move and move and move and move to being a journeyman, And then you're going to move and move and move and move. And pretty soon you know more about that subject than everybody else around you, and you're a master. And that's when you're seeing big money, right? But you're not going to do it by not standing for something. By not being committed to this one thing, you will not succeed. You will be pulled down every which way until you are so frustrated, you're just going to go back to work. You don't believe me? There's the door. Get your hard hat on the way out. Punch that clock. I promise you, you're going to have to commit if you want to be successful. It's a little bit scary, but you can do it. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. I hope this video finds you all well. God bless you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, everybody.